Hey Mom, I just wanted to let you know that I'm getting married soon. Turns out that Elise is pregnant.
What? Since when? Is that the only reason you're getting married to her? Or do you actually love her?
Of course I do. I have to say though, the timing of this pregnancy was pretty good. I was actually thinking of popping the question soon, just wasn't sure when to do it. Now I don't have to worry about that.
That's all right then. You better not break the poor girl's heart now, got it? Still, congratulations, John. I'm really proud of you. And say hello to Elise for me, would you?
I will do, don't worry. And by the way, the kid should be born sometime in summer. We're not 100% sure yet, though. Hopefully, we'll get an energetic boy. I want an excuse to get all of my old toys out.
I hope so, too. All of your old toys are still clogging up our attic, you know. Still, are you two going to be okay? I'm sure you're happy about the pregnancy and all, but this is all very sudden. Are you feeling ready for this?
Why wouldn't I? I've always wanted to be a dad, and I'm finally about to get what I wanted.
Well, the mentality's good, but are you sure you've got your life together enough for this? You've just moved to a new job 3 months or so ago, right? And you said you're getting paid less there than you were before, didn't you? Are you sure you'll be able to support a whole family?
You're right, I'm kind of worried about that as well. Sure, I have to do a lot less at this new job, but it's not ideal. I'm making a lot less every month. I've gone from being able to support a family by myself to struggling to feed myself.
And Elise quit her job recently as well, didn't she? I think you said she had some trouble at work. It was a whole thing, wasn't it? They even got the HR department involved and everything. She's looking for a new job, right? Has she found anything that looks promising?
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal. She said one of her coworkers was making advances on her. She didn't say more than that, though. Still, she won't have to worry about that weirdo now that she's quit. That's one good thing. And I don't think it'll be necessary to get her to work again, especially not while she's pregnant. I'll figure something out. It'll be fine.
That's very optimistic, John. Maybe a bit too optimistic. You're making a lot less money, and she hasn't got a job at all. I imagine she doesn't have any other sources of income, right? And on top of all of that, she's pregnant too. Are you sure you'll be able to afford all of it? Babies are really expensive, you know. This isn't something you can just feel your way through. You need to plan ahead more, just this once.
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I can't form a plan if I don't know all the variables at play, and I can't figure those out unless I'm there in the moment. In the meantime, if we really need it, I'm sure you can help us out.
Huh? Me? What am I meant to do?
You best start putting some money away for when your cute little grandchild is born. We'll probably need some help to keep the lights on every month, at least until I get promoted a few times, and that will take a while.
Do you think I'm made of money? How am I meant to be able to do that?
Follow my advice. Figure it out as you go. That's my plan right now. As you said, our situation isn't exactly great. We'll need all the help that we can get to make sure this kid gets raised well. Even if you can't find it in your heart to save my butt anymore, surely you still want to help your grandchild?
You're expecting way too much from me. Wait, did you get married just so I'd have to help you too?
Whoops, you got me. You see, when I found out Elise was pregnant, I had a brilliant idea. I didn't think that you'd be a big fan though, and it looks like I was right.
Is this really your definition of a brilliant idea? Clearly your book smarts didn't transform into common sense.
Maybe not, but I was pretty good at math, and I also know that Dad left you a decent bit of money. Add that to the fact that you're a total penny pincher, and what do you get? A bunch of money that you've got holed up somewhere that you could do a lot of good with, by giving it to us, of course. I'm so glad that I've got a mother that I can rely on whenever I need to. Oh, I feel truly blessed.
Don't be stupid. I barely have enough money for me to survive. How am I supposed to have enough to also send you some every month? Are you even listening to yourself?
I've thought about it plenty, Mom, and I know you'll come through eventually. You won't abandon your kid. You don't have what it takes to do that. I don't have anyone else I can ask for help, so I suppose you better do your part as a parent and support me in any way you can. Unless, of course, you want me to make a fool of myself.
What? To who?
To Elise's parents. They've got a decent bit of money, actually. In fact, I'm willing to bet that if we asked them, they would help us out. But how pathetic would that be? It wouldn't look good if the husband came to beg for money from his wife's parents. I'm not asking you just to screw you over, Mom. I really do need the money. I promise I'll pay you back as soon as I can. So do your best, if not for me, for your grandchild.
Shelly, please explain yourself right now. Why did you send us so little money? I'm going to be giving birth to a cute little grandchild for you, and that's all you can muster? $100 for a whole month? What kind of joke is that? That would barely be enough for a week's worth of diapers.
Well, I don't exactly have money to throw around.
That doesn't matter. This isn't anywhere near enough money for it to actually be helpful. Have you considered starting to work again? It seems like you might just have to, if you want to be of any use to us. Normally, we shouldn't even have to ask to get as little as $1,000 a month.
As little as $1,000. There's no chance I can afford that kind of expense. I need to stay alive as well. If I don't, I won't be able to give you anything.
And how much money does it take for you to stay alive? You're an old woman, by yourself, in a house you probably bought when the founding fathers still lived. You're just making excuses to get out of helping us. It's shameful, really.
Now, hold on a moment. I've told you, I just don't have the means to.
As F, John's told me everything I need to know about your financial situation. You saved up plenty of money while your husband, bless his soul, was still alive. So you should have more than enough to give to us, your only immediate family members. Not like you have anyone else to spend the money on. Come on now. It's your duty as a mother to help support your son's family in any way you can.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Elise, but there's not much left of those savings. They've been gone a long time.
What? What did you spend all that money on?
Hospital bills, mainly. In the last few months before he passed, my husband's health took a turn for the worse. We just tried to make him as comfortable as possible. We had saved up quite a bit of money, true, but there's almost nothing left now. Hospitals aren't cheap, as I'm sure you know. I've been living off of Social Security checks myself. It's not easy, but there are worse situations I could be in.
Are you serious? John told me not to worry, that he had figured something out and had a plan. Was this really the extent of his plan? I put all of my hopes in you. I thought you would actually be able to help us. Turns out that was a complete mistake. You're too poor to even make sure you live comfortably. Of course you wouldn't be able to help us.
I mean, you're not wrong, but there's no need to say it like that.
How did you even manage to get to this point? How useless can a person be? I should have known that a wrinkly, crusty, mushroom-nosed idiot like you wouldn't be able to help.
Mushroom-nosed? I'll have you know I get plenty of compliments on my nose all the time.
I don't recall asking. I'm still trying to process my husband basically lying to my face. How is your entire family so worthless? He's not making any money, and you aren't either. I'll provide for us, my left foot. What are we meant to do about this? There's a kid in my stomach right now. I can't just not feed them just because my husband decided to be an idiot. The apple really doesn't fall far from the tree, huh?
What is it with you? Are you forgetting who you're speaking to? I'm not just some stranger you can treat like dirt. I'm your mother-in-law.
How do you expect me to act exactly? Am I supposed to be grateful? For what? If anything, it's you and your son that should be grateful. Had I not taken pity on him, I doubt someone as pathetic as him would have found a wife. And you! I'm going to be giving birth to your grandchild soon enough. Having a grandchild is the dream of anyone your age. And yet here you are not doing anything to help me or your future grandchild out. How can you even look at yourself in the mirror every day?
I can look at myself just fine, thank you very much. I, at least, don't have astronomical expectations of someone that's been retired for 20 years.
Fine! Whatever. At the very least, make sure you continue sending us some money every month. Regardless of how little it is, it's better than nothing. I have the sense to not try to wring any more money out of you. It's clear you don't have any to take in the first place. But if you have any extra cash lying around at the end of the month, you better send it over to us. You can dislike me as much as you want. That doesn't matter. Do this for your grandchild. That's far more important than either of us.
You know, there is something I want to ask. Why haven't you gotten a job yet? If you're that worried about your family's finances, then surely the first step would be to get a job. It would take a lot of weight off of John's shoulders, too.
I have no intentions of working again. I've had enough of that. The corporate world is soul-crushing, and every single person involved in it slowly turns into human scum. Instead of stressing out over numbers or whatever else, I'd much rather focus on raising a healthy and happy child. I don't have any plans of being anything other than a stay-at-home mom. Someone has to raise our child, and I will be that someone.
I can already tell this won't go well.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Either way, I'm counting on you to send us as much money as you can. We need all the help we can get, and it's your responsibility to support your son's new family.
I can't fully argue with that.
Now, there's just one last thing I wanted to let you know about. John and I talked about it for a while, and I think we finally managed to agree on what we should do. We'll be hosting the wedding a few months before I'm due. Seemed fitting, since that's the whole reason we got married anyway.
Oh, really? It's good that you've decided when you'll be having the wedding, but what about the money? Weddings aren't cheap, and I'm sure you know that.
We've thought about that, too. We decided to host a small one, and only invite close family and friends. We can't afford anything more, realistically speaking. But, of course, if you want to help us, we'd appreciate any extra funding. Could always use more money, that's for sure.
Somehow, I'm not surprised you said that.
Then again, I doubt you'll be able to do much, if anything. But you never know, we might just get a miracle on our hands. At the very least, try to do the bare minimum as a mother-in-law. We'll talk again later. See you at the wedding! Are you trying to embarrass all of us right now? It's someone's wedding, and that's the dress you wear to it? Surely you could have done a bit better. Look at my parents. They look absolutely stunning. And yet, here you are, making everyone else look worse just by being around them. Seriously, did you buy that dress from Target? It looks like you couldn't have spent more than $30 on it.
I spoke to John about this beforehand, and he said it was fine. Me being here is more than enough for him, even if I don't look like I walked out of a fairy tale. He said that everyone knows each other here, which is true, and that we don't need to be showing off wealth we don't have.
I'm sure he did say that, but could you really not have done any better? Seriously, it's so obvious that you bought the cheapest thing that you saw. As the parent of the groom, surely you'd want to present a better image. Well, I guess you can't afford to present a better image. You can't exactly buy decent-looking clothes without any money, huh? It's a real shame that you're this bad at managing finances.
You really just don't want to let that go, do you? I swear, you bring it up every chance you get. And if you don't have a chance, you just make one up. Maybe I shouldn't have come in the first place. And I splurged on a gift for you two as well. I went through a lot of trouble to get the money for it, you know.
Yeah, I bet you did. I still don't know how you pulled it off, though. Still, what do you mean by you went through a lot of trouble? Did you have to rob a bank for it or something?
What's that supposed to mean?
The present you handed us was way heavier than I expected it to be. It was kind of surprising, actually. So I took a little peek inside. Imagine my shock when I saw what was in there. There had to be at least a few $1,000s in there. At least that's how it looked. But I doubt all of that money is real. I wonder if you just used Monopoly money to make the present look more full.
You're really starting to get on my nerves. If you want to act like a comedian, you better learn to choose your audience better than that. The money is all real, and I don't appreciate you acting like I didn't break my back getting all of that together.
Yeah, as F. There's no way you managed to get all of this money together in this little time. Come on, think about it. How would an old woman, whose only source of income is her Social Security, get so much money in so little time? I'm not stupid, despite what you might want to think. I can tell this doesn't add up. There's just no way you'd give us, $8,000 just like that. There has to be some kind of catch.
You're right, there is a catch. The catch is that I'll never give you guys any money again. I thought, since this will be the last time, I might as well go out with a bang. And by the way, it's $10,000. I wanted it to be a nice big number. One that made sure you wouldn't complain that it's not enough. This way, I can let you guys be on your merry way and not feel bad for not helping out enough, because I've done plenty.
What did you just say? This is so strange. Why today of all days? Are you really trying to cut off all contact with your son and his family? I don't think you understand the gravity of what you're saying, lady. Think about it for a moment. Or is your brain too old to do that now?
Oh, I have.
Really now? Have you thought about your poor little grandchild then? If you do this, you'll never be able to meet them. Are you sure you want that? I doubt it. And I'm willing to bet you'd come crying to us soon enough, begging to meet the little angel.
No, that's perfectly fine by me. I've seen who this little angel's parents actually are. There's no way they'll be any different. I don't want to meet another person like that.
Very funny.
Never speak to me again. Got it? I don't need to hear from you two anymore. And don't expect any help either. You won't get any more from me.
Are you joking? Can you seriously not even spare $100 a month?
It's $100. What difference would that make? I'll tell you. Absolutely none. It's not a life or death situation. And even if it was, it's $100. You two can figure out a way to get that little money. John still has that guitar of his, right? He can go busking or something.
Who do you think you are? You're just some random old woman. What would I care whether you want to keep in touch or not? You can stop speaking to us all you want, but you better not expect any help from us later on. We won't take care of you, you hag.
I appreciate the concern, but I'm sure I'll be more than fine by myself without you two helping me. I've got a few houses I can sell. Once I cash out with those, I'm sure I'll have a decent bit of money to spend.
Since when? I thought you said you barely had any savings.
I don't have any savings, that is true. Instead of having cash, I own quite a few properties. And they're all worth a pretty penny, I'll have you know.
What? No way!
Well, you see, my husband always wanted to be a landlord. I'd say he did a pretty good job of it, too, while he was around. He figured that, instead of giving me a bunch of cash, he should invest it in buying some homes. And they're some nice homes, too. He knew how bad I was at saving, I suppose. He definitely made the right choice, though.
He bought houses just so you'd have something to sell later on?
Exactly. He was just such a kind and thoughtful husband. He was always like that, you know. Even in his final moments. Anyway, he heard from one of his investor friends that he should diversify his assets, and he did. Apparently, that advice also came with a 2-hour lecture on how to handle money. Honestly, I'm glad I wasn't there. Either way, buying those homes was a smart move. Real estate can't really be sold immediately. It's a whole process, and it takes time, so you can't use it to impulse buy a pizza at 3 a.m.
So you've just had those houses the whole time?
Exactly. Even if I wanted to sell them and help you guys out, it'd take a while. So instead, I just kept saving up however little I could and living a pretty simple life. But things are a bit different now, I'd say. I don't actually have anyone I want to leave these houses behind for anymore. So I had a brilliant idea. I'm gonna sell all of them and get a decent bit of cash out of it, too. I'm really looking forward to it. You don't even know.
Are you serious?
Very. And now you'll have to ask your own parents for some help. I'm sure they'll be able to give you a lot more money. Did you notice how nice their clothes were? By the way, there's no need to worry. I already told them about your guy's situation.
You did what?
There is one thing that surprised me, though. To think you hadn't even bothered telling your parents you were pregnant. I'm surprised you managed to hide it so well. And you didn't even tell them about asking for money from me. Honestly, you should have seen their faces when they found out. It wasn't a pretty sight. I'm sure the faces you'll see soon will be worse, though.
Oh, wait. Let me get this straight. You told them everything? You idiot! Do you even realize how hard I was trying to hide it from them?
Why were you hiding all of this from them in the first place? I don't really see the point. After all, it's their daughter that's about to give birth, not mine. I just thought they had a right to know first.
Look, there's a bit of a situation I'm dealing with right now, and it's making things slightly more difficult.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Sorry. How's your other kid doing? Do you even know? I'd imagine not, seeing as how you just dropped her off at your parents' house and never came back to get her. I figure that your parents wouldn't be too fond of the idea of dealing with another of your kids.
You knew?
Of course! I got to know your parents quite well, actually. We had a good, long talk about you. This is definitely not what I expected to find out about you, though. I figured they would have just said you were always a bit of a cretin. Though I guess that's not entirely wrong, is it? You had a child with someone that wouldn't have raised one with a gun to his head. He left you pretty soon after he found out, didn't he? In fairness, that was a pretty good excuse to basically abandon your first child, wasn't it? Got to count your blessings wherever you can.
Well, I had to.
Did you? Your parents didn't seem to think so. Then again, I'd imagine they don't want to be the ones dealing with the result of your stupidity. But now, at least, you found someone dumb enough to actually marry you. I thought you would have had the sense to not make the same mistake twice, but apparently not. I guess this is also why you were so desperate to get money from me. You knew that your parents wouldn't put up with you anymore if they found out.
You haven't told any of this to John, have you? Please tell me you haven't. I don't want him to leave me as well.
You know, I was thinking of telling him about what you're hiding from him, but I decided against it.
I'm not hiding it. I just haven't gotten around to telling him yet. I'm trying to find a good moment to tell him, and it's more difficult than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, I can imagine that's the case. But no, don't worry. I haven't told him, and I don't plan on telling him either. I don't want to ever speak to you again. Bringing this up and causing even more of a scene would only be more trouble for me. Anyway, I'm leaving now. Enjoy the rest of the wedding, I suppose.
What is going on? Did you know that Elise had another kid? You did, didn't you? Why didn't you tell me? Why do I have to take care of someone else's kid? I didn't even know Elise when that little brat was born. And she had her with a guy that just left her. I don't want to know what that says about her taste in men.
It's not a great sign, buddy. I'm sure you know that already. But you best be the father that steps up. Those kids need you. And besides, what's one extra kid? It's not that big of a difference.
It is a big difference. I was already worried enough about having just my kid. How am I going to handle taking care of two? I've never even had a goldfish that survived for longer than a week. These kids are going to end up melting in the oven or something.
Oh, come on. You're a grown man now, with a wife no less. You can figure it out.
Figure it out how? Raising a kid isn't like solving a Rubik's Cube. And it's only gonna be even harder if Elise keeps being so cold with me. She didn't even say good morning to me today. Also, what was with you yesterday, Mom? You left before we even said our vows. That was odd enough by itself. Can you even begin to imagine how I felt when I found out my wife already had a kid with another man? Why did she take so long to tell me about that?
How about you ask your wife? She's the one that decided to not tell you about the kid. Until after you got married, if I might add. Unless you speak to her, you're not going to solve any of these problems of yours.
I mean, you're right, but...
No buts. You're going to have to deal with this whole situation sooner or later. You might as well get it over with now. And besides, it's not like you can't ask for help from anyone. I'd imagine Elise's parents might still be willing to help out.
I tried to. But guess what they said? That they won't put up with us doing whatever we want, and that they won't help us anymore. Elise went to them by herself, and she just lied to their faces. Again. I think that she said that I knew about the kid and married her knowing I'd have to take care of her as well.
Oh, wow. That's a real shame.
I tried telling them that I had just found out about the kid after the wedding, but they weren't listening at all. They told me it's my responsibility now, and they really didn't believe that I didn't know anything. Honestly, they weren't exactly the kindest in-laws.
I don't blame them. They had to raise a child just because their daughter decided to be an idiot and not use protection. I'd be annoyed too.
Can I ask something? Can you please help us out, Mom? We really need all the support we can get. I thought that we could pull through all right if it was just one kid, but two? We've got no chance. You've got a bunch of houses you could sell, right? Surely you could spare some money and still keep some for yourself, too?
Not a chance.
Look, I'm really sorry for just letting Elise run her mouth like she did. I should have been so easy on her. And I'm really sorry for not appreciating that money you sent us. Sure, it wasn't much, but the gesture was more important than anything. Both Elise and I regret how we acted. So can we go back to how we were before? And could we move into one of your houses, please? That way you'll get to help raise both of your cute grandchildren.
Why would I want to do that? And besides, I've already sold all of the houses. People are really desperate for property nowadays. So I'm afraid I can't do much to help you.
Wait, you found people to sell them to already?
I gave up on you two. And when I did, I decided to do everything for myself. It took a decent amount of preparation. But in the end, it helped out. It's why I had all that extra money to give to you two. I've already made my decision. You can't change my mind, no matter what you say, John.
But how are we meant to survive then? No one's offering to help us, and we're about to have another kid on our hands. I'm not making enough money to support this big of a family. I'm barely making enough myself.
And? What am I supposed to do about it? It's your problem, John, not mine. Get another job. Get your wife to work. Sell your kidney. I don't know, figure something out. You've got options. Use them.
But it would be easy for you to save us.
Sure, I could. But what kind of man would you be then? You wouldn't be one. A real parent would strive to help their kids in any way they can, no matter what.
Yeah, but...
Anyway, I've had enough of you and your family. I hope you and Elise manage to raise a good family. After all, they're the only ones you have left. In the end, the couple wound up having to figure something out by themselves. They found a cheap and rather cramped apartment and have moved there in order to save money. John decided to also get a part-time job in the evenings. He now works nearly 17 hours every day. As for Elise, she has also started searching for any jobs that pay well and has even found a few promising-looking ones. As soon as she gives birth, she plans to start working. At least now they seem to actually be putting in the effort they should have from the start, instead of just constantly begging for money without earning it. Meanwhile, I sold all of my properties and made a decent bit of money. Using that money, I decided to go to a fairly fancy old people's home. In a very short time, I have managed to make a lot of friends. And whenever my friends are visited by their grandchildren, I also get to enjoy their company. I'm looking forward to relaxing and enjoying myself for as long as I have left to live.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more content. See you next time!